is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year. Shoot 'em my shot, boy, I'm long range. Me and the team on the same thing. Stayed down, never switched up. Only thing changed was the game. I'm in the zone now. Nothing can change what we on now. When I pull up, know it's going down. Foot on the gas, ain't no slowing down. Aiming for greatness, no settling. Kick down the doors, they won't let me in.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Phil All Caps back with another episode of the Knicks Nightcap. And I'm excited because I got the whole crew back today. You know, we got my boy Al from Harlem, which you guys have been rocking with over these last few weeks. But we got Mr. Guard Up Knicks himself back in the flesh, hanging out with us to create some Knicks content, talk Knicks, talk about what's been going on over this last few weeks. This West Coast road trip, which has been, it's definitely been a roller coaster with its highs and its lows, sometimes more lows than I would like to admit. But I'm excited. We will be chopping it up with one of my favorite brands in the whiskey industry, Dark Arts Whiskey. Absolutely delicious. We got two amazing pours that they have sent for us to enjoy today. And I'm excited. I'm just really excited to connect with my friends, talk Knicks, and just see how everyone feels about everything. If you're in the chat, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, retweet it, share it on Instagram. But without further ado, I'm going to bring up my guy, Mr. Apollo freaking Reed, because he's been gone and we got a lot to catch up on. So without further ado, here is one of the best co-hosts with the most in the whole industry. I'm not even just talking about Knicks. I'm talking about in sports content, period. My guy, Mr. Apollo Reed.
Peace, bro. Appreciate all the kind words, man. You do a lot. You do a lot, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, my bro. God. So let's chat real quick, bro. What's been up? How's life? You doing all right?
Life's good, man. Things I needed to, unplug for a little bit, I mean, just settle things down. Just a lot going on, trying to, get things under control. But things are getting a little bit more calm now. So it's a better environment to continue doing what we do best, man. For real.
I love it. And so people may not know there is life outside of the New York Knicks. And we were just in one of those spaces, people were like, yo, Apollo quit. I'm like, nah, bro, chill out. He's been gone for like 3 weeks. Give the dude a break. Like, let him breathe. Like, sometimes you just got to hit reset and put priorities on what matter most. Like, we canceled the whole show last week because Mr. Al from Harlem had family in town. And I was like, bro, they've been there for like 4 days. I know bro's tired. I know he's exhausted. Like, anyone who's got family with him for like 4 days, like, I'm Puerto Rican. Like, I have family with me for a day and I'm exhausted. So I was like, all right, Al's got to be tired. So I gave him that option. He's like, bro, if you for real, let's skip it. I need my rest. So he should be rested. He should be looking fresh and clean. So let's see if my man Al is ready to chop it up today. What up?
Yo. Bro,
bro.
When you sent me that text message, it couldn't have been more spot on. Like, I was exhausted. Like, these people were here like 4 days and I loved every minute of it. You know what I mean? And you're not really tired until they leave. That's when you're like, man, I'm tired. But they, like, my brother-in-law, big bourbon drinker, and then his dad came down and he's also a big bourbon drinker. And so, like, I was schooling them to like all the things that I've been learning with the pod and all that stuff. I was telling them, they've been watching the pod, so shout out to them. Awesome. And we just had a grand old time. We drank a bunch of bourbon. That's awesome. So I needed to recoup, and thank you. Thank you for allowing me to do that.
No, I knew, bro. I had just come back from, visiting my family in North Carolina, and I had a blast. I was there with my brother celebrating his birthday. But when I got home, I just realized how tired I was, because the family themselves aren't like frustrating or annoying or anything like that. It's just that you give a lot when you're with people that much, you just get tired. And so I was like thinking about it. I was like, man, I've been playing video games with my boys and my brother nonstop. I've been like watching movies till 1 a.m. with these kids, because they got no chill. you know, and I was just like, all right, like, how do I relax? Like, how do I find some peace of mind? And I was like, I'm just going to detach, you know? And so for like the first day and a half that I was here, I just relaxed. I didn't contact anybody. I didn't go do anything. And my family stayed in North Carolina to take care of my grandmother since my brother started his new job. And she's got dementia, which my brother typically takes care of her. So I was just like, all right, my family, immediate family's not even here. I'm not doing anything. And it was very restorative. So when you were like, yeah, the family's here, but I'm ready, I was like, nah, bro. Like, you know, if you need the time, let me know. And you immediately were like, yeah, let's cancel. And so
You were like, I was like, yo, he's like in my head because I was literally like thinking that I was like, oh, I'm so tired, but I'm gonna power through this. And you were like, you gave me the out, and I was like, I'm gonna take this one.
Yep. So like my guy JT Riddick in the chat said, he said, "Life be lifing." Fact.
Yeah, it'd be
And
life
sometimes
for
you
real.
need to chill out. Shout out to my guy Nostalgic Nick. He said, "What up? Salute my brother. Salute to the panel. Salute
Yo,
to you
salute,
also. Brother.
salute.
Appreciate you." We got my guy Nostalgic Nick and JT Riddick, moderator of all moderators. And so throughout the whole night, hit that retweet button, hit that subscribe button. We will have open panel all night. So if there is a certain topic that we are talking about and you want to chime in, just hop on. You don't need any permission, anything like that. I'm posting right now the link for the open panel. So even my guys on the panel, if you know somebody that you think would want to come up right now, shoot them that little open panel link right now so that they can come up. It could be anyone from the Guard Up Knicks channel. It could be anyone from the Nick Life Crisis channel. Anyone that you guys, you know, even your family, bro, that you've been drinking bourbon with. If they want to chop it up with some bourbon, come on up to the panel today. But guys, you know, it's been a while. And this West Coast road trip has, first of all, taken a toll on our team, it seems. But it's also taking a toll on me. You know, 5 freaking games out west, you know, and every game starting at 9 to 10, and you're trying to stay up to watch it. And sometimes those games have not been worth staying up for. So let's chop it up first with the first game. You know, it was a close one, but we let it slip through our fingers. And that was the Oklahoma City game. That was one I really wanted, boys. Like, I really, really wanted that game. I wanted to see, like, if we could really, you know, bring it to these guys, and we did. But I feel like it was our fault that we lost that game. So what were your guys' thoughts on that game? If you can think that far back, about a week ago. I'll go with you first, Apollo.
I don't really remember much from that game, but I do remember it just we did get back into the game, and it was a close one. But it, you know, we just weren't making shots, and of course, you know, Shea towards the end of the game, which he normally does. But yeah, like I said, I typically try to throw things out the window, like as soon as we get past the game, especially if it's a bad game.
Yep.
Or game close enough for me to be upset that we lost that game. But it was enough for me to say, you know, I don't think Mitch played that game. No, right? Yeah, no. So Mitch didn't play that game. So it was enough for me to say, okay, well, we weren't at full strength. I know Mitch would have definitely made a difference because they were getting a lot of baskets in the paint.
Yeah. All right. What was your thought,
Al? Something similar. So leading up to the game, I think I don't know if we were on a back-to-back, but I think we played Toronto before that.
Yeah.
And I was saying in my head, I'm like, the important game here is the Toronto game.
Yep.
Eastern Conference game.
Yeah.
We need to win out Eastern Conference as much as possible. And then going into the OKC game, and Mitch wasn't playing, I was like, look, it's not apples to apples right now. Like they rested Shea and Hartenstein the night before so that they could be fresh against us. I don't know why every team does that, but you notice that like they rest their players so they could be fresh against the Knicks. It's insane. Yep. So I'm like, yo, they got a fresh team. We're gonna be minus Mitch. So I was like, look, it's not a fair comparison. So can you guys still hear me?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It sounded like my headset went out.
No, you good.
So I was okay with losing the game. I was like prepared to like, all right, whatever. If we lose, we lose. But then the refs started to
Oh yeah.
act crazy, and like nothing gets me more upset than like the refs not calling things fair. And I usually don't complain about the refs, but when Shea ran over Brunson and they did not call a charge just because it's him and he would have picked up his third foul, because everyone knows if that was Cat, they would have called him for his fifth foul in the first quarter. They wouldn't have cared. So I'm like, yo, bro, like you gotta call the game fair, man. Like, don't do that. And so then they kept doing stuff like that in the game. And I'm like, yo, now that makes me want to win this game more.
Yeah.
Just to prove the point to the refs. So I ended up like getting emotional and getting into the game when I had entered the game, not really caring too much about it. I'm like, yo, whatever. Yeah. It's not a fair comparison. But we ended up losing. There's a lot of things that I noticed in the game. OG Anunoby, another shaky game. And Jose Alvarado, another shaky game. And that's going to be a theme for the rest of these games. Jose Alvarado has kind of really not been that spark plug that he had been when he first got here. So those are the things that kind of stick out to me when I think back about that game.
Yeah. So the things that stood out to me first were, yes, the Raptors game was most important because it's our division. You know, we need, you know, those numbers. So when people were like, why is Mitch not playing this one as opposed to that one?
Yeah.
Well, that's why. You know, we got to keep our standing. You know, we don't want to fall in the standing. However, the frustrating part for me was that OKC did not beat us, even without Mitch. Like, we beat ourselves in that game. And so I will start with a high on this player, because this is something that could be a game changer if he actually implemented this more. But Jalen Brunson had 15 assists that game. Mm-hmm. Crazy. Like, had no clue who I was looking at. I was like, Jalen Halliburton? Like, what is going on over here? Like, what's going on with JB? How did he start getting all these assists? You know, that was crazy to watch. But after that, the fourth quarter with JB really frustrated me. In a game that it was really, really close, there was a lot of forced shots. He went 1 for 6, shot 16% in that game. You know, and like that was frustrating to me, because it's like, okay, I understand you're Captain Clutch, but if you don't have it, you don't have it right now. You know, like the shot is telling you you're not even close. And it's not like he was shooting great that game at all. You know, like if he was, you know, like lights out for that whole game, then it's like, oh, well, you know, it just happened. But in the game, he wasn't shooting great. You know, he was 5 for 18 from the whole night and only 2 for 5, you know, from 3. So his shot was struggling. And all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, it was like, okay, why, you know, yes, he still got 5 assists, but some of those shots were just forced. And all we really needed was one extra, you know, 3-point attempt from somebody else, you know, that would have kept us in that game. So some of those shots were a little bit forced, a little frustrating for me. But other than that, you know, the standout for me in that game was that we were that close after not having Mitch there, after being on a back-to-back. We still played really, really good basketball on a night where some of our guys were not shooting well, you know. You know, you had Mikal Bridges, you know, he had 6 of 17, like rough, you know, real rough. Landry Shamet and Mo Diawara were our spark plugs, you know, 5 for 9, 3 for 4. And Karl Anthony Towns, 7 for 18. And yes, you know, you talked about the 16 points from OG, but it was still 6 for 17. Like that was some rough shooting from him. So even on rough shooting night from 3 of our main 5 guys, we still lost by 3 on that game. So I considered that at least okay, not a complete wash, but a bit frustrating because we beat ourselves in that one, you know? And so you
I
gotta,
actually wasn't frustrated. I kind of look at it different. I was like, on a night where we didn't play our best, we were still right there. So in my head, I'm like, we can beat this team. Like I wouldn't be. It's not like the scary OKC Thunder that we have no chance
no,
against. I think we've
no,
matched up
yeah.
well against them, and we can take them.
Yeah, and the reason I'm frustrated is not because it didn't show that we can compete with them, but it should have shown that even if Mitch can't play certain games, we should still be able to beat that team. You know,
Yep.
that's what it showed me. You know, that it wasn't them that beat us because they were still playing well. You know, you look at most of their guys, you know, their numbers were better than ours.
Chet was balling. Chet
Yeah,
was cooking
Chet
us.
was insane.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was the frustrating thing. And like, you know, JT Riddick put in the chat, our free throws, man. Like, come on. Um, we missed 6 crucial free throws that could have been the difference maker. And free throws continue to haunt us, which is so friggin' frustrated. But it is what it is.
Another
So,
good defensive game. We kept them to 103 points too, which is super impressive.
and
Yeah.
here's another, you know, the way I say we didn't have Mitch, I do want to give Sherwin props because he's honest. Jalen Williams didn't play that game, you know,
Yeah, he did.
and
Yeah.
he's
Mhm.
probably their second best player besides HSGA. You know, it's like him and Chet are neck and neck in who that
Yeah.
number 2 is. So that's a bigger absence for them than Mitch is for us, you
That's
know,
true.
in
Yeah, that's true.
totality on points. So that's, you know, a very good point. So shout out to Sherwin for being, you know, completely open and honest about that. Shout out to Carbon Intellect. He said, and that's why I still believe. Yeah, that's, you know, we shouldn't not have hope. You know, there's no reason for us to not have hope that we can compete because we can. It's just a matter of, okay, what do we have to do to compete, you know, in 7 games? And we'll talk about that more as we go through the gauntlet of games. But that was the OKC game. Then we moved on and we went to Denver. Yo, crazy. 142 to 103. Looked like a completely different Knicks team. Like we put belt to behind like in that game. Like, and that was crazy because this isn't one of those games where you can say Aaron Gordon wasn't there like we did last time. You know, Aaron Gordon was here for this one. Yes, unfortunately, Jamal Murray got injured, you know, in that game. So, you know, hopefully he's all right, comes back soon. But Al, what was your thoughts on that game? That was crazy.
Well, that's the second game in a row that Brunson got 15 assists. And I was like, wow, like he's not, I've never seen him do that before. And those are high assist numbers. But it also comes on the heels of him being a terrible shooting slump, which I also haven't seen. I'm like, man, I don't know if I should get worried or if I should be happy that he's distributing. I was happy that he doesn't have it going and he seemed to be distributing. OG had it going that day, 6 of 11 from 3 and 4 steals and a block, just absolutely cooking. The team that game was fun, man. Like that game was just super fun. I feel like we always match up well against Denver. I feel like we always like either beat them or we're playing really well against them. So I expected to play well in that game. It was the next couple of games that I started to expect to dip, and we did end up dipping. But for this game, this was a fun one, man. This was a fun one all around for me.
Yeah. What was your thoughts, Paulo?
That was the OG game for me, man. Like it was weird because he was pulling out moves that I've never seen him do before. And I was kind of like, yo, what is going on with this guy? Like, what is he doing? They might have to drug test him after this game. Like, I don't know. I was like, yo, what is going on, man? Seriously, I was kind of like, yo, what got into OG, bro? Because he was like that step back in the corner. I was like, whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
Who's in there? Somebody else got in that kid's body. But you know, OG went crazy. It was good to see him be as confident as he was and to continue going. A lot of times, when guys get hot, you know, other guys tend to want to get hot too. But you know, they let OG cook. You know what I mean? They just let OG cook. Like you said, Brunson, 3 for 13 that game was terrible. But to be able to still get up, you know, 15 assists and be a plus 19 from the field is was great. But yeah, man, OG Cat was looking good. Cat usually tries to bring it against Jokic. He typically does. But yeah, and like you said, we match up well with them. The whole team came to play. Mitch looked good. Mitch was getting some alley-oops. They were actually looking for Mitch. You know, that's something that I haven't seen much of. And now they're finally starting to throw him some lobs way more often.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that should be part of the offense. Like, I don't understand why that's not used a lot more. But yeah, man, great game all around. Hopefully they can bottle that up and start to play more like that more often.
Yeah. And you know, the craziest thing is that, like, in this last month and a half, we've seen Karl Anthony Towns, who's been struggling, find a way to contribute that isn't what we normally expect from Karl Anthony Towns. We expect Karl Anthony Towns to be a three-point shooter, to be a finesse shooter, and just put up bucket after bucket after bucket. And he struggled with that, you know, for a lot of this season. But then he turned a new leaf and found a way to still contribute night in and night out. And that was the thing that we all wanted to see, was like, okay, you're not putting up buckets, which we need you to do, but you're not doing anything, you know? And then all of a sudden, now he's leading the league in like second in like rebounds or something like that. And he's playing really good defense. And Mike Brown is like praising him for the fact that he's played this defense and is like taking, you know, the constructive criticism really, really well. And you have to tip your hat off to him and say, holy cow, congratulations. Like, you may not be getting those buckets, but I'm not frustrated. I'm not mad that you're not getting those buckets, because you're still helping us win in new ways that we didn't know that we needed. You know, he found a way to still contribute. And so, yeah. What?
I don't know how you guys took it. I don't know if you guys talked about it at that point, but how did you guys feel about the Shaq interaction with him and Cat?
I loved it. Loved it.
Me too.
Okay.
Loved it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Good.
one thing we talked
I feel like
about,
I feel like it lit a flame under him.
Yeah.
One thing we talked about like nonstop with Tom Thibodeau was that he didn't keep his all-stars accountable. Like, there was no accountability there, you know? And so I feel like the fan base started getting all pissy at Mike Brown when he was calling Cat out in post-game shows. And I liked it. You know, I was like, good. You know, if you're willing to get the praise in a post-game show, you need to also get the criticism in a post-game show. And everyone was like, nah, Mike Brown is losing. Cat doesn't want to listen to him because he feels that he's jaded and talked bad about. And then Shaq comes out and pretty much does the same exact thing. And Shaq is like, yo, I got love for you, bro, but you're not playing like an all-star. You're not playing like a $53 million player. And I think Cat, you know, realized, okay, my coach is saying it. The Knicks fan base is saying it. And now Shaq is saying it. You know, there's got to be some validity and truth in it. So I was thankful to see that from Cat, because he's been a great contributor on that. I feel like all the harsh love that he got from the coach actually did some well for his season, because he's still not shooting lights out, but he's being more confident now in his shot, especially over these last two games, because he's found a way to contribute and be outside of like the Knicks fandom, you know, bashing, because he's actually helping. And that's why those two games, I was actually happy with Jalen Brunson, because I was like, all right, you're not shooting well. Like, you're abysmal right now. Like, it's painful to watch you shoot. Like, it looks like you were on a 7-game back-to-back, because none of your shots are hitting anything but the front of the rim. It's like me going out with my 8-year-old son on a full court basketball hoop, you know, like, and playing for an hour and then watching him shoot. That's what it looked like. But he was still able to contribute 30 assists in 2 games. And that's what we need from Jalen Brunson. Not some of the heroics we've seen in some of these other games where he's not shooting well, but still kind of forcing it. But we need that. You can't shoot, you know how to facilitate. Like, that's not an excuse anymore. We know you know how to assist, because you did 30 in 2 games, which that could be 6 games worth of your assists, you know, earlier in the season. So I like that. That was the highlight for me as well in that game. Like you said, OG was doing things that we've never seen OG do. Mo Diawara continuing to shoot confidently. I like that. I liked actually seeing some Pacome Dadier minutes out there in the end. Pacome got friggin'
And
11
they
points.
they fed him. They fed him too. They were making sure he was getting his buckets.
Yep. So shout out to them and shout out to the coach for putting those guys out for a few minutes. But that was a good win. We don't have to spend too much time on that. We'll go into the next one. We go up against the Lakers without LeBron James, and we lose 110-97. This is where I got a little more to talk about. And then after we do this game, we're going to bring up our guest, have a sippy, talk about the next game, have another sippy. But let's talk about this game real quick because this one got me. What were your thoughts, Al?
So this game I knew was going to be tough. For some reason, the Lakers always play us tough. I think the Lakers invented the Josh Hart defense. They completely ignored Josh Hart. And watching that game, it's like Brunson had no space. On top of that, the guys were missing everything. And that just lets you know that they were on tired legs. Like we had the Raptors and then OKC back to back. And then we traveled for a day and then we played the Denver in elevation, third game in 4 nights, to turn around and go to LA and play a morning game, a 3:30 game after daylight savings time. So it was really like what time was that in New York? It was like almost like a 10 a.m. game for them. It was crazy early, like 11 a.m. game for them. So that scheduling was crazy. So I knew that they were going to be off of their game. And you could see it when the guys miss like that so much, like no one could hit anything. That just lets you know they're tired, man. They're tired. And so I just chalked it up to them being tired. And then Luka just started hitting like ridiculous shots and stuff like that. The only positive that came out of that game was like I noticed Jordan Clarkson was starting to like light up a little bit, and the light bulb lit up in my head where I was like, well, if we're not scoring the ball, there's a guy on the bench that is known to score the basketball. And that's when you need to tap him on the shoulder and get him in the game.
Yep.
And so that started to click for me. And the other thing is like these guys are on tired legs, but Jordan Clarkson hasn't been in the rotation, so his legs got to be fresh. And so he had a little bounce to him. And so I thought that Mike Brown might be finding something there. And then, of course, later on, he exploded in last night in Utah. But, that's what I started noticing at that point in time. And then, this was the Mikal Bridges 0 game. Oh, man. Dude, so I knew Mikal was going to have a bad game because he was in foul trouble. And I was ready to give him a pass. I'm like, he's in foul trouble. He's not going to find a rhythm. He's guaranteed going to have a bad game. But I did not think he was going to have a 0 game and be doing cardio out there. So that was bad. That was really bad.
All right, Apollo, I'm going to let you go real quick, and then I'll give my take before we bring up Kimmy. So go for it, Apollo.
Yeah, man. I mean, of course, the Mikal 0 for 6 is just disgusting. But you can't blame that on him.
You seen the Mikal meme with the Wilt Chamberlain paper up with the 0?
Yeah, and he had the 0. Oh my God, he earned it. He earned it, man. Like it was kind of, but like you said, when you get in foul trouble early, you don't get to get in the rhythm. And he's the kind of guy that if he's not in rhythm, he's not going to take shots. Like he just won't take the shots at all. Like he'll pass them up, and he started to do that after he missed a few shots. And this is like, well, that's kind of what you expect when a guy doesn't really get in the rhythm. But I got to give JJ Redick some credit. He threw a bunch of different defenses at Jalen, and Jalen did not know what the heck to do with it. And the Knicks in turn just didn't know how to figure something out. So there was so many times we could have went on a run and get close to them, but they just staggered how they defended us. So we couldn't consistently do anything because they changed up how they were playing against us. So I give him credit for that. I always feel like whenever we play a team with LeBron on it, he always knows how to scheme for whoever he plays a little bit differently. I can't give JJ Redick 100% credit for that. That's all. I do think LeBron is behind that because LeBron's been doing that since before JJ was there. But other than that, like you said, everybody missed shots. We were 35 for 82 or something like that. So
there was one more thing, and this started to become a little bit of a theme with this team, and we got to fix it ASAP. And I'm sure, Phil, I'm stealing a little bit of your thunder here. 18 turnovers. Talk about it. That's disgusting.
The turnovers,
Disgusting.
the turnovers. The past couple games, the turnovers haven't been good at all. It's just been I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so this game was frustrating for me. Yes, the highlight for me was what I've been saying for the past few weeks of start giving Jordan some minutes. He started to show, that people are wrong. And when we talk about the next game after that, I have something to, show everybody, when it comes to last night's game. But the frustrating part for me was Mikal Bridges. Me and the KOT, we've been talking about this over the last few nights since that game, about how this continues to look worse and worse when it comes to the idea of Mikal Bridges being brought to the New York Knicks. And the reason it continues to look worse and worse is because you look at the 5 picks now. I didn't care about the 5 picks before. Why? Because I thought what we were getting was a guy that can come in and be that number 3, number 4 whenever we need him. Now there's nights that he's not even our number 6 or our number 7 contributor. And you have to go, holy crap, 4 picks? Now you have to start worrying about 4 picks. And this was the start of the frustration. And in the conversation we were having and an episode the other day where I joined them for the post game, Lee was talking about this could be one of the worst Knicks trades in history. And people were like, no, we've gotten worse players like Bargani, this, that, and whatever. And they're like, but our expectation of what we were giving out to get Bargani was not expecting what we gave up to get what we thought we were getting in Mikal Bridges. So yes, we've gotten worse players, but the deal in itself was not worse. And you have to start thinking, crap, if we had those picks and we didn't trade for him, we could have probably still had Dante, and Dante would have been a way better fit, for contribution than what we're seeing from Mikal Bridges right now. Like, we never saw in his time with the Knicks, Dante play like this, not even for like 2 games back to back. Like, he would have one rough one, he would shake off the dirt instantly.
Yeah.
With Mikal, it's just like, what is going on? It's a constant cluster of a scenario where it's just so frustrating to watch. And so that was a hard game for me, especially because of those turnovers. Because like someone said, I'm trying to find who it was so I can give them credit. The real ham for free. He said 7 turnovers from Brunson against the Lakers. Point guards are supposed to be able to take care of the ball. And this is one thing that I said on the KOT show. And anyone who doesn't believe me, I tell you, go back and watch the games I'm talking about. Because you could say, no, bro, you're out of pocket. But if you go and actually do the homework that I tell you to do, you'll come back and realize I'm completely in pocket. Okay? Jalen Brunson, one of mine and my boys' favorite players. Also one of my most frustrating players this season as the Knicks. And the reason is in games like that last night, when there is another guard who is considered their star and they're like number 1 or number 2, Jalen Brunson takes it personal and competes against them more so than the Knicks compete against the Lakers. So in him versus Doncic, you saw him and Luka going back and forth. And at first it was competitive. There was laughter. Then the game starts coming down the line. And in the 4th quarter, it's the Doncic show. And what does Jalen try to do? He tries to do the same thing and make it the Jalen Brunson show. And he gets 4 turnovers in the 4th quarter in the last few minutes of the game where we were that close to getting back into it. He had one drive where it was into 3 Laker players, leaving 2 of our guys completely open. And someone was like, when we were talking about it, they're like, yeah, but if players aren't making shots, like players were missing shots left and right, this, that, and whatever. And I was like, I understand that. But two of the players that were out there with him in that fourth quarter were Jordan Clarkson and Karl Anthony Towns. Okay. Both of those guys had higher field goal percentage than he did in that quarter. Okay. Both of those guys, you had Towns that was shooting 60% and Clarkson was shooting 66. Brunson was also shooting in the 66 range. So to feel like you have to force multiple baskets back to back to try and keep us in it when you have two guys shooting alongside of you over 60%, there's no reason why you drive on three players and try to do it all on your own.
Kept doing that. Yeah, I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah. And so 3 possessions in a row, which is what made us have that gap, because the gap wasn't that big till towards the end when Luka continued to go off, because every time Luka went off, he tried to match it and it led to a turnover. So those 4 turnovers were crucial for us and they cost us the game. And what I want to say is, you don't believe me, go and watch how we've looked against the Pistons when it's Cade Cunningham. Okay? Go and watch even when we play the Pacers, he does it against McConnell. Okay. He used to do it against Halliburton. Now he's doing it against McConnell. You look at all the teams that have that point guard as the other star, and he wants to prove that he's the best player on the court. That's why you didn't see that against the OKC, because you have 4 guys on that roster that are all going tick for tack for you. So it's them all playing as a team. SGA is not saying, oh, I have to go up against Brunson. Like, you had Chet being the star of that game. That's why he got 15 against the Nuggets, because none of their point guards are their number one, and Jamal Murray was out for half the game. So when Jalen Brunson goes competitive mode against another guard, he tries to prove too much, and it can cost us the game. And that was frustrating. That's where you saw the assists dipped. It went from 13, and then in that game, it was 7. Not horrible, but 7 assists with 4 turnovers. So it's kind of a 1 step forward, 2 step back kind of thing. But without further ado, I want to bring up somebody, all right? And this is a brand that I've been a huge fan of. And I've been, doing some work with them here and there. And they've just been good, and I met this awesome lady when I was at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and we kind of just chopped it up. And her name's Kimmy. Unfortunately, her taste in basketball is not as good as her taste in whiskey, but we can grant her forgiveness in that. We don't want to beat her too bad, look at their record, it's doing enough for us. But when we were talking about the show and everything like that, I was like, man, it is hard to actually find true basketball heads in the whiskey space. Like, you can find a lot of football heads, you can find a lot of golf heads, you can find, people that love some even NCAA football, basketball. But you ask anybody about NBA, and it's like, man, well, I got this one guy that packs our bags at the brand, he watches the NBA, and I'm like, no, what does he know? But when Kimmy, told me that she was a Pacer fan, I was like, all right, this is perfect. So we're going to bring her up. We're going to talk a little bit about basketball, but we're also going to talk about some delicious pours as well. So without further ado, I want to bring up Kimmy Douglas of the amazing Dark Arts Whiskey.
What up?
What up? What up? What up?
Oh, hello. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Pacer fan, because that logo.
Oh,
no.
Man.
Oh, she's
wow,
so serious. She's so
audacity. If I knew that was going to happen, holy crap. All right, guys.
Wow.
So we have officially.
What an entrance.
Yeah, the show is now coming to a close. We apologize for the interrupt. We are officially now, people, in enemy territory.
Just fine.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, I got an earbud in, so I didn't know. Okay.
Yep. So we are now in enemy territory, as she is wearing that horrible, horrible T-shirt.
This shirt is awesome.
All right. So all right. One thing I need to ask you, Kimmy. All right. Reggie Miller, known for this whole stint. Who won that series?
Don't do that.
Who won that series? Who?
Don't do
I gotta do that.
Don't do
We don't
that.
gotta talk about that, huh?
We don't gotta talk about that. We can talk about this whiskey.
You go. We gotta talk about it. You know.
That's funny.
How you doing?
I am exhausted. You really you caught me. Like I know I was communicating very minimal, but I'm in market, so I've been traveling I traveled 2.5 weeks, back to back. I had a couple of days off and I kind of got a little under the weather. And then I've been back in market. I've been in Charleston, South Carolina. Today I was in Columbia. I'm in Charlotte right now. And then I'll be in New Orleans next week. So
wow. So where are you right now, Charlotte?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hey, that's where Apollo's at right now.
Charlotte.
Did you get your samples? Did everybody
Yes, I
get their
did.
sample?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
we did. Thank you.
We all
I
got
was
it.
doing all that from the road,
No,
so
you killed it.
glad you got it.
You killed it. You killed it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, Kimmy. So before we talk about the pour and about basketball, what is your whiskey journey? And just tell us a little bit about you and your relationship with, Dark Arts and how that all, began.
Okay, cool. Oh, I'm gonna try to turn up this volume on this thing. Oh, good. I'm not like a super pro. There it goes. Okay. No.
Sounds good on
Okay.
our end.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what was the question? Can you repeat that for me?
Yeah.
real quick?
So a little bit about your whiskey journey and how the partnership between you and Dark Arts came about and how long you've been with the brand and whatnot.
Okay. Actually in particular, my journey with whiskey, I've kind of been in the whiskey space here and there. I did get started actually just kind of aligning myself with people I know to be more, pros or what I consider a pro. My personal journey, I got started being invited to different things, tasting things, the way I picked up notes on stuff. And so when I wanted to kind of get into some other adventures, I reached out to a friend who introduced me to my mentor. My mentor is OJ Lima. He owns tasteselectrepeat.com. It's a direct-to-consumer liquor store out of DC.
Okay.
So from there, I was able to I was on just the lives and the Zooms with some other people, picking out, going through single barrels, what I taste, then being invited out on single barrel picks. And just kind of the journey led me in the path of Macaulay. We became acquainted. He knew my mentor, and actually did the first ever single barrel pick with Dark Arts.
Okay.
So full circle moment. I'm actually the single barrel sales lead for
Nice.
Dark Arts. So it just it comes full circle for me.
That's awesome.
I've done single barrels for a lot of different people, and it's kind of my thing. So
That's awesome. And so, being on the show, we've had, so many different brands, from big names to craft distilleries. And, just watching Dark Arts over the last 2 years has been just crazy, to see one of the biggest lines of Kentucky Bourbon Festival this summer being everyone going to Dark Arts to get their buff turkey release, first thing in the morning, and just that massive line. It's just been a testament to craft distilling, but also to the art behind blending, finishing, and rebarreling, because you guys source your whiskey, for the most part, right? You guys are, sourced. And so a lot of people, can see that kind of success from someone that they've followed for a long time of a certain brand, that it's the same flavor palette every single time because they're distilling all their own stuff. It's all the same temperature. But you guys have been able to find a way to blend and rebarrel and still have a style that is so unique and just true to who Dark Arts is. And so can you talk a little bit about like the success you've seen of the brand over the past year, and like just some of the favorite things that you guys have done in the past year?
Awesome, sure. So I will attest a lot of that creative passion and innovation to our chief alchemist, Macaulay Minton. Macaulay started. A lot of people know his story, but he started as an intern with Wilderness Trail, one of the more tech-forward distilleries, and he developed out their single barrel program. So from there, when it was acquired by a corporate brand, he ventured on to his own personal waters. So you have Dark Arts, that is, a creation of his. He also has a co-CEO of David Pete. He's a serial entrepreneur as well. But when it comes to Macaulay, Macaulay always says, he says, I don't blend for, this same consistency. Like, you get my art while you can. I literally seen him tell Drew from Sazerac this on a panel in New Orleans, like, not holding back. He doesn't mind speaking his mind, but yeah. So this is whiskey is his medium. That's his art. We are now on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. We're not even 3 years old. So we're now on 67th official stop on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. We will be distilling and producing some of our, gins and amaros, like in-house, to backstock our alchemist bar, and getting kind of into some more innovative, creative things in-house as well. This year we had another one of Macaulay's experiments here. We had a sweet and sour mash honey release. We've trademarked the name Sweet and Sour Mash. It's a blend of sweet and sour mash bourbons in a honey cask. And then, of course, we have the ever famous Volume 3, though, Blunt Blend.
Yeah.
So that one's coming up, on release, but I'm sure you're able to try that one yet. So
yeah,
be curious to see what you say.
And we'll talk about those, and that's one thing that I love about blending in whiskey, especially with, how you guys are doing it, how, the team at Short Barrel are doing it, where it's not about like meeting the rules of what this overarching, title of whiskey or bourbon or whatever is under, like it is what you said. It's an art form, it's
an art form.
One thing that Macaulay and like Clint from Short Barrel have in common is that, I did an interview with him for their website, and Clint said something very similar. And he said, listen, I blend for me. I don't blend for everybody else. Like, if it's delicious to me, we're putting it out. Like, and whoever rocks with it. And that's the mark of a true artist. When a sneaker drop or a clothing puts out a clothing drop, there's a brand called Kith, and they always do a New York release. Every single year. Lit. And Ronnie doesn't go, man, I wonder what everybody's going to think of this. Ronnie just puts it out, and people love it because it's just unique to who Ronnie is. And so that's one thing that I've loved about your guys' releases, everything from the Port Madera one that I tried, that I had here, to the 13-year-old that, Macaulay sent me last time, which was absolutely delicious, to the buff turkeys that you guys had there. They were unique to your guys' style, your guys' likings, and people just flocked to it eventually, and that's what I love. And so we are going to start with this trademarked, because for people who don't know, a honey cask is not rare, and a sour mash is not rare. But however, a sweet and sour mash in a honey cask is rare. That is very, very unique. And one thing I love is I'm a huge honey cask fan, honey cask fan. But sometimes people go a little too heavy on the honey. And I'm just like, goodness gracious, like, I feel like I have to be Winnie the Pooh to enjoy this. Like, it's just like, like, I don't understand.
Winnie the Pooh. I have a joke about Winnie the Pooh. I have to tell you offline.
Oh, yes. Do they? But like, so for me, some of them get too sweet. The ones that are a little more mild and you get the hints of honey, you know, or honey mixed with something else to you know, tame the flavors down, are my favorite. And the ones that are more honeysuckle, more than they are honeycomb, are also, you know, big fans of mine. But this right here, this is the perfect balance of delicious bourbon with the hints of honey that you like. So tell us a little bit about this one as me and the guys pour this one up and get ready to give it a shot.
Awesome. So do you have, you should have BWTH too.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's the one we
Yep.
got. Yeah.
Yep, that's what we got.
Yeah, gotcha. Good. Okay. So this was an experiment. Macaulay, Dave, the CEO, David, really has an affinity for old Bell Mead, honey finished whiskey, and I guess, you know, that was something that I've heard him speak about even since first meeting him. I know a lot of people like the honey finish, like a short barrel. These are some of the, I guess, the bee's knees.
Yep, bee's
I
knees.
haven't had it before, so but Macaulay, if he wants to do it, he wants to do it a particular way. So the getting the right bourbon blend was the first start, and so that's what we have here, and that's why it's, you know, it's particular, it's trademarked. That sweet and sour mash is trademarked, but he's got different types of honey that he had in a cask. That information is a little more private, but different strains of honey, from different types, and so that was what the kind of the experiment was. So we do have a few different iterations of this one.
Okay.
So it's very low allocation. We just had a meeting and let some states know, you know, how many you're going to get, and you know, I mean, it's quite limited, but there is a couple of states that it was primarily supposed to focus on. So I've been in market sampling it out. Everybody's been giving me great feedback on it. I even had drink suggestions on it. So it's definitely very balanced and smooth. I love it. It's great, like riding into that springtime, you know. Plus it's you know, yellow is one of my favorite colors.
Yeah. Wow, she keeps pushing it. I don't know if we're gonna get to the next pour. My internet's going out.
Right. Oh, look at that. Oh, and blue and yellow.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yo, she came prepared. She came
She
prepared.
did.
That's preparation personified. Okay.
I have a question. Did you pick out the barrels for the juice that's in here?
No, I didn't personally. No.
Okay.
We all go through processes where we're like, you know, we get to taste some things that get to go in the blend. So I did go in to be able to taste some of the stuff that went into the blunt blend. Everything kind of goes through the team. You know, Macaulay, of course, is the final stamp, but we all have like a hand in being able to, you know, taste and give our feedback, taste again. You know, our team consists of it's not just, you know, me. I'm the lead spirit guide. We have two other spirit guides, Sophia and Sarah, and we have Jacob Ripito, who is going to be our in-house distiller, but he came from a background, I guess, at Journeyman and then Castle and Key. So, I mean, we have like an experience, you know, all-star crew. Sophia, she graduated from the James B. Beam Institute. Sarah's kind of been on YouTube for a while. A lot of people know her. She's already created her name in that space. And so we have some, you know, some heavy hitters on the team that be able to kind of have discerning palates to be able to give that feedback and support Macaulay in every way that he lets us. So
I love that. You know, so first shout out, I got the Dark Arts little glass right here.
Don't judge my glass. I'm in a hotel.
It's
this
all right.
This ain't the room's glass though. Don't hate.
I got my Dark Arts one right here. So cheers.
Right.
Cheers.
But I love that you said the Bell Mead, because that's one of the most sought after honey releases of all time. Like it is a coveted release, and theirs was very similar to what I had said, like the more honeysuckle type, flavors, which is why Nelson Brothers continues to kind of emulate that, since they were part of that, split of Nelson Brothers and Belle Meade. So that's influence for this, which is why I love it so much. So cheers. Let's have everyone get a zip. That is so good. All right, Apollo, I'll let you go first. What are your thoughts, buddy?
This is really, really smooth. Like it's almost like it wants to bite at the end and then it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like,
and then it just keeps going.
It just keeps going. So I really, really like this. This is smooth. You get a little bit of that honey taste, of course, in there. But it balances it out with the spicy. I really like this. Nice pull, like you said, for springtime. It's a nice springtime sip for sure.
Hey, shout out to my girl, Sober Bourbon Girl, in the chat.
Hey, Kia.
All right, what are your thoughts, Al?
I've always wanted to taste a honey blend. This is my first one, and it did not disappoint. This is perfectly balanced in terms of like, not being overly honey, right? Because I want to taste my bourbon too. So I think it's a great mix. I wish there would be like I wish I could see an age statement so I can know kind of a little bit more about what I'm drinking. But I think the proof point is good. It doesn't really drink at a 108. It kind of drinks like at a 90, which is good in my opinion. Like it's just a smooth sipper. Like I could drink this all day. I like this a lot. I would buy this for sure.
Yeah. It's a blend of like 5 to 7 year whiskeys. So that's
so
where you kind of, because you think about this, where you're getting the sweet mash from. So
that's awesome. And so when does this hit market?
Pretty soon. Like I said, we just like 2 days ago. No, yesterday.
Are you targeting Florida at all? Or no?
Where?
Are you gonna go to Florida or no?
Oh yeah, Florida is like one of the prime areas. So
good.
So yeah.
And you're clearly doing Charlotte too, right?
No, we're not in Charlotte. We're not in North Carolina. They're pretty hard to get into, but hopefully, but we're in South Carolina and they are getting some as well.
That's because North Carolina is horrible. And
I got family in Columbia. So that's fine. I'll go down.
Controlled state. I don't like
I just was there. I was just at Morganelli's today.
Okay. Yeah.
You know that store?
My mom and my mother-in-law live down there in Columbia. Yeah. So.
Okay, gotcha.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is a delicious pour. Like
this is awesome.
It's good.
It's hard because like this is one that I would like to put in a cocktail and see how it tastes, but I also don't want to waste it. So it's like a bittersweet kind of thing.
Right.
Well, when you get it, you got one that you got open, so just get you a backup and do one and one. But
that's what I'm I did
get. I got like somebody that suggested they wanted to do a spring forward old fashioned with this one, and they wanted to do like a black tea reduction with this with some lemon bitters.
That would be delicious.
And so I guess when they were thinking of it before they tried it, they were going to do it with like a High West rye, and something else. And so they was like, oh, I would probably just do this and do it with the black tea reduction and the lemon bitters. So I thought that was like a good suggestion. So we're gonna try some stuff at the Alchemist Bar at the Whiskey House in Lexington. So you might see some updates there.
That's awesome.
Hey, so you're in Charlotte now, and you're trying to get. Did you say Charlotte? I'm sorry. You say North Carolina or Charlotte?
Yeah, I'm just here. Like, I have a meeting with my distributor tomorrow, and then I'm actually going to be doing a cigar single barrel event right there at Fort Mill, South Carolina. I think it's like right on the border of North Carolina.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were trying to get into the Charlotte market, and that was your purpose there.
Oh no, well we're looking into it. Our distributor in South Carolina also has distribution here, so I'm gonna have a meeting tomorrow, and we're not sure, so we always see how that opportunity goes. We are in 31 markets though.
Okay. I'm just curious, like what all you do.
You got the plug or something?
No, I'm just curious about like your role and like what you do, because you started off with like I picked the single barrels and I was like, oh, she's got like she knows how to pick. She got like the notes.
But I can.
But it sounds like you do more. Like
So I'm the lead spirit guide. I'm distributor and single barrel sales lead. So that is my title.
Oh, you're a sales. Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, so I'm distributor sales lead. I'm usually in market. I'm the sales lead associate that interacts with my distributors. I have target states, but a lot of the single barrels go through me initially, or whether hosted, not hosted, because if I'm in market, I don't always have the time to. But that area is my responsibility.
Cool.
So if you need a single barrel pick or know somebody needs it, that's who you would go through me, or one of the spirit guides, but it will relay back through.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And how long have you been with the brand again?
Actually, my 1-year anniversary is St. Patrick's Day. So
coming up.
317.
Congratulations.
Yep, and then that 317 is 317 because that's Naptown, because that's where I'm from.
Here we go again.
I know, right? Great plug-in. It's not going to be the Pacers nightcap.
Good.
It's gonna keep going.
You would think the Pacers are doing great this year.
We're going to talk about that in a second.
Ow.
But I'm going to share an incriminating photo with y'all. All right. So you said the tea thing. You said the tea thing, and the tea thing really stuck out to me because my wife loves tea, loves tea.
Mm-hmm.
And afternoon tea is like something that she loves to do. And we don't get a lot of time together because we travel full time. We have the 2 boys. So date nights are kind of hard. So we were just in North Carolina visiting my mom and my brother. And so we went out for an afternoon tea. And so like now I'm on like this tea kick where I'm just like loving it. And we're going to do like me and her tea at the house once a week. And so this is me chilling with all these like nice, red hat and blue hat ladies in the background. And so a friend of mine saw that picture and ended up sending us this little rendition of it, and I think it's going to be my profile pic for a while.
I like it. Yes.
So yeah, they were
out a little bit.
Yeah, right. Little picky out. Got to put it out. So let's talk basketball. All right, you're a Pacer fan. Let's be real.
Yeah.
No. You're good. You guys had a good team last year. Like bottom line.
Yeah.
As a fan, how frustrating was it? Not to just have Halliburton go down, but did it seem like your team, like how did you feel as a fan then reading that you guys were like sending Miles Turner to the Bucks? Like, did it seem like your team just kind of gave up and you guys have to, like figure out who to support now, or were you okay with that?
I was a little bothered. Indiana has this tradition of, I feel like, always getting like this close and then you're just like, but I never waver. I love the Pacers, it's definitely not the only team I like, but it is my home team. I never stop digging them. But but Miles has been there. That's the only team he's known. Like, sometimes you gotta, go away to branch out. And it was unfortunate about Halliburton, but I have this thing about a lot of these players and these injuries now, and what you're seeing from all these kids that are playing AAU and all this other stuff. So it's unfortunate, but I do feel like we'll be back.
Yeah, it'll take some time to rebuild, but
it'll take some time.
I think it'll take a little bit more time than expected. Come on, let's be real. All right.
Yeah, but I was heartbroken I was probably more heartbroken about my Colts.
Yeah, well, yeah,
because it was just like
yeah.
Well, the thing about the Pacers that is like hard is you see certain teams that can lose their main guy make some trades, and still be in contention, like Boston. You know,
Right.
Boston had Tatum gone the whole season up till now, and they're still in second place, you know, and
Right.
you guys fall into like 15 and 50, bottom of the barrel. It's going to take some time to rebuild, even with Halliburton, because Halliburton can't do it by himself. So before we go into the next four, what are your honest thoughts on the New York Knicks? Like, you know, like as someone who watches basketball, what's your thoughts on the Knicks?
I don't really have thoughts on the Knicks. I do like the little guy Brunson. You know, he's got heart. I like him, but definitely like lifetime just opposition. I don't know if I could really give a really full hearty assessment of the Knicks. I mean, this goes back, you know, long time, but I feel like the Knicks are always going to be that team that sometimes they're good and they're just never going to like, it's always going to be the letdown, you know. But
wow.
It historically is just, they're the Knickerbockers, and
wow.
Look, you can't really blame her. You really can't blame her for what she's saying, though. Just to be honest,
New York is always gonna be Big Apple. Everything, do it big. I don't care how much fly stuff you put on. I don't care you have a Kith jacket, Knicks collab. None of that. Like, it's never going to happen.
It's gonna happen soon. It's gonna happen sooner than you think. I have a question for you.
Forever.
I'm about to give you some props on the Pacers. So before I change
hold it. Keep it now. Don't even no.
What I was gonna say.
No. Time out. All right. No. I refuse someone to put dirty shoes on my table in my own house. All right. So we cannot talk about the Knicks and say that they never win nothing. All right, because the Indiana Pacers. All right, how many NBA championships y'all have won in your career? Booyah! All right, at least the Knicks have won. The Knicks have won championships. All right,
when?
Not in my lifetime. All right.
Was it even in the NBA or was it like
and
NBA,
1970, 1970 to 1973?
Yeah.
So we got two.
Long
time ago.
That's still more.
And we won the NBA Cup.
But we don't.
We won the NBA Cup. We won the NBA Cup.
We don't. But we're not always trying to be like the big badass. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So no, the thing is, we have to. We don't have a choice. It's New York. They don't have a choice. Like, they signed up for it. The moment you sign that contract as a New York Knick, you signed up to be a part of the show. Like, that's just...
And be loud and wrong.
How can you say that? Y'all's most iconic moment was Reggie Miller doing this and then losing.
He did.
Loud and wrong.
Yeah, it was loud and wrong.
Like those one moments, Reggie Miller's 3-point skills is like period. But historically, New York thinks that they are just this beast mode, and they just never.
The loud is a good segue into my question. So we obviously play at Madison Square Garden, and it's a madhouse, and it's always rocking in there. But I'll give Indiana props. What is it, Conseco Fieldhouse?
Gaines. Now it's Gainesbridge. It used to be something else, but it's changed.
Well, that place actually gets pretty loud too. Have you been to a crazy game where the atmosphere is like that? Like for the Pacers.
From the Pacers, when they were in the playoffs with when LeBron was with
when y'all had Paul George.
Oh yeah, that was, and we had we had these shirts made that was like It was like it was like Run DMC, but it was like FCK LBJ.
Oh man, y'all are terrible.
We had all these shirts made. We were at the game. So,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not
like,
gonna lie.
that
I
same
was
weekend,
going for the Pacers that series only because I didn't want the Heat to win. I was.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the truth.
yeah, and I'm like on LeBron, so whatever.
I'm not gonna lie. I was at the playoffs 2 games last year where you guys beat us in the playoffs, and I was in Indiana visiting family at those games where
Oh man.
where we took a spanking, and me and the family were all decked out in Knicks gear, like this one hurt. So
Yeah.
give y'all credit. You guys played well. But without
It's a nice
Halliburton,
facility though too. It's always
It is.
good. Like it's a good environment. So it's not a bad seat in the place, and
Yep.
it's a good environment. Seeing
Really good.
concerts there is even awesome too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next pour. Oh, one
Mhm.
question I had about this honey one. What is the main difference between the BWTH2 and the other ones? Is there like vast differences in the flavor palettes?
Not vast, but they're distinct.
Okay.
So I know like different states are gonna get. There's one long strange drip. There's like different ones. Somebody's got you got the Midas touch.
Yeah, I got the Midas touch. Yep.
Yeah. So they all got like different little because it was all an experiment. So it was different, the different honey,
different
and
honeys.
how it worked with that sweet and sour mash. So
Gotcha. Cool.
Mhm.
All right. So before we do this one, I'm gonna play this little video.
Mhm.
I am a whiskey content creator. This is one of the first things that I did with Dark Arts. They came out with their Blunt Blend Batch 2 last year, and
this is fire.
I was doing beats, rhymes, and whiskey reviews where I rap about the flavor notes of the Blunt Blend. I was able to do it at Kentucky Bourbon Festival in front of the Dark Arts booth this year. So I'll play that one, and then you can listen to the flavor notes on that and see how they compare to this one that we're about to try. So this was batch 2. We're going to sample batch 3 in a second.
Sweet.
Oh, whoop, let's see. Let me know if you guys can hear the sound. Back with sound.
We good now.
Yeah. All right.
Blend of the beats, rhymes, and whiskey review. This time, Dark Arts, Blunt Blend, Batch 2. Alright, let's get it. Yo, I step into the room, make it go pop. Batch 2 in my palm, let the flavors unlock. Cause Bourbon Swami, the chief alchemist, really raised the bar with this. Proof that 114 is still smoother than a lover's kiss. Sniff game strong, coffee and hibiscus. Hair in the air, like I'm sipping this on Christmas. Licorice hits the nose and these karate kick. Thick Mr. Miyagi, discipline in every sip. A little pear, a little pepper, the caramel's insane. This ain't bottom shelf, homie, this is top tier game. The molasses move slow, like El Chapo through customs. They locking things down like the officer that cuffed them. Raise my glass like the logo, a monk in all black. I appreciate the marriage of Madeira and Almanac. Unique like the friendship of Zach and Screech. This bottle's far out, man, like Chung and Cheech. That's a reach, switch it up. Say their names properly. Tough all over like Richard and Tommy. Don't smoke, but I'll pass this blunt batch in my glass. I will sip, give as long as this bottle lasts. Every pour got voice. This ain't for beginners, hard to comprehend. Like Jesus chilling with the sinners. But truth is truth, regardless of comprehension. Like the gospel, this is blunt and demands your attention. No cola, no rocks, I just swirl it and vibe. Beautiful bottle to look at, put the treasures inside. Can't deny this is dark 1940s noir. So I pour a few ounces and party like a rock star. Swami with the whiskey thief like Harry with the one. Blunt batch is the bus to infinity and beyond. Light years ahead of the competition it faces. When batch 3 hits, I'll be off to the races. That's the spirit with another beat.
So that was batch 2. And like I said, when batch 3 came out, I would want it. And I want it. So let's look at this one right here. This is 113.8 proof. All right. Also, keeping the Madeira and Armagnac cask collection going. So what would you say are some of the differences that you noticed between batch 2 and batch 3 that stuck out the most to you?
Batch 3 definitely has more of an Armagnac influence.
Okay.
For me. It rounds out wonderfully, rounds out those corners. Right when that Madeira kicks in and that Armagnac just comes in and swoops you. It's awesome. I love it.
I think that's so wise too, because from when you guys put out batch 2 to batch 3, you've seen a huge like move in the industry where people are purchasing Armagnacs. Like whiskey lovers are purchasing Armagnacs and actually sipping Armagnacs neat and enjoying them. So there's been a huge push in the whiskey community to just enjoy Armagnac. So a whiskey that has more of that Armagnac influence is genius. So love it. All right. And when does this officially drop?
Well, of course, it does. We do have a 420 release for that, but we decided to pull it out a little sooner so people can enjoy it for 420 this year. So actually, there's some states that already have it right now. I think Wisconsin. I think a liquor outlet in Wisconsin had dropped it today.
Okay.
And everybody else, it's coming. Like they've already completed the pre-orders. It's already out in transit, so they will have it in time for 420.
Awesome. And who distributes you guys online? Like, what's a distributor that we can promote that people in the chat can actually go check out?
A few of our online these out of DC distributors, do pick up the product. If you go on Dark Arts Whiskey House, our online fulfillment is done out of DC as well, under Taste Select Repeat. But it's right linked to if you go to our Dark Arts Whiskey House and hit the shop, it links to the bottle shop. It's like bottleshop.darkartswhiskey.com, something like that. And then some of the other ones will have it. Check Bourbon Outfitters. I'm not really sure which ones picked it up this year, but on our website, you'll be able to link to shop there online.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to post that link into here as we dive in. So, boys, take a sip. Let me know what you think.
Did you guys rinse your palates from the honey?
I actually did not.
I did not. I did not.
But I did pick up a bunch of notes on this.
I feel like I'm getting judged.
She doesn't with a smile on her face. That's the craziest
It's fine.
part.
It's fine. It's fine. Listen, I'm the rookie here, so the rest of them, they don't have an excuse. I'm the rookie here, but I learned something today.
You guys are catching me really at a good time. I am, if you would not know, I am super introverted and shy. And I've been trying to peel myself out of, I'm a Cancer. I've been trying to come out of my shell
a Cancer
a little
too.
bit.
Let's go.
Yes. And so Monday, I had an interview that was released on YouTube, and some of the reels have been on my Instagram, and it's been catching all me and my little facial expressions and outtakes. So I'm trying to roll into this one pretty cool right now.
No,
You're doing a great job. Killing it.
Okay.
Like it's fun when someone can just joke around and have a good time. So
yeah, I always think I got the jokes. So my friends call me the female Larry David.
Oh no, you came.
He's
you
a
came,
Cancer too.
You came here guns loaded.
Oh,
You came here
is he?
guns loaded. So I believe you.
Can I jump into the notes that I picked up?
yeah,
too?
go for it.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, so I tasted a lot of it felt like plum. It could be like a little bit of licorice.
Okay, you're correct.
I did taste the wood, like the oakiness on it. I did taste that as well. And I also tasted a little bit of pepper. Not your typical. I didn't really get the typical rye spice as much. It didn't feel that spicy to me, but I did feel the pepper on there, which I thought it was really nice. This is such a cool novel idea to me that it's like supposed to be paired with with cannabis, because typically, bourbons are paired with cigars, right? And this past weekend, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was just having my moment. I pulled
Okay.
back. I didn't want to have a blurb.
Well, I'm a cigar smoker, so I was with the interesting story from this weekend. I was having some bourbons with my family, and I had a bourbon that I really liked, but we hadn't smoked yet. And then we smoked the cigar, and then we went back to the bourbon, and it tasted completely different. So now I had this, and I'm like, okay, well, now how's this gonna taste? Because it tastes great right now. No. This tastes great now.
You're talking
but
about
it's
cigar.
supposed to be, yeah. So like, how's it gonna taste after I smoke a cigar? Like, so I'm just interested in seeing the difference.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this one's so unique. Like, it's crazy because compared to batch 2, you taste the similarities, but like you said, the Armagnac is a lot more forward. Like, you definitely can taste the Armagnac finish. And like Al said, there is that fruitiness paired with it, like right up front. Where he got like plum, I got like red grape. And
I
so
say like Fig Newton.
Yeah, you get that fig taste. And so that's really, really cool. And then you get what you were talking about, like the spiciness. It's not like rye spice, but it's like tobacco-esque, flavor notes. Which to me, some of my favorite whiskeys all have tobacco, flavor notes to it. So that one was just really, really great. I feel like this one's really, really complex. I feel like the flavors in batch 2, I feel like when you sipped it the first time, it was a solid pour, and what you got from that first sip is what you got after the 10th sip. I feel like with this one, every time I'm gonna sip it for the next 10 times, it's gonna be a revolving door of new flavors that I'm gonna taste. So I'm excited for that one for sure. What are your thoughts, Apollo?
I'm glad you mentioned the tobacco. I could kind of get that kind of a taste through it. I was tasting a fruit note, and I couldn't decide what it was, so I didn't want to just say a random fruit. So, but I am tasting a fruit note, and I know exactly what it is. But what I do taste is like a chocolatey kind of taste in there. And I typically like that taste because it's like a smooth, especially because, like I said, for what is this, 113? It doesn't bite at all. You know what I mean? It's really smooth for 113, and it actually just gives you a real smooth sip. And like you said, keeping PG, there's some things that people can try with it if you would like. And I'll try with different things. It depends on what we're talking about. But yeah, and we'll see what the tasting notes are, at that time. So I like this one for sure.
Yeah. And it's cool because
keep it PG. I like that. I like that. I've been saying, so like if I'm somewhere and it's like real conserved, I'll say, oh, so this is our rye finished in Madeira in Armagnac cask, and we released this for the Easter solstice.
Easter solstice. That's a good one. That's a good one.
For those, for that.
Apollo, I do taste the hints of chocolate.
Me too.
I
tasted it too.
But it, like, some of the other ones that we've tasted, we've gotten like chocolate covered raisins, and it's like, kind of tames the sweetness a little. I feel like this one's more like a milk chocolate, that goes really, really well with the like sweetness of like the red grape and whatnot. Because it's not like bitter. It's not a bitter chocolate, at all. Like it's smooth and sweet.
I actually got like a dark chocolate only because I had dark chocolate earlier today, which is rare because I don't eat dark chocolate. It just at work, it was in a bowl, so I just grabbed it, and it happened to be a dark chocolate, and I wasn't gonna like throw it out, so I was like, let me just eat it. You know what I mean? So I ate it. It was good, and it had an almond in there. So I'm like, all right, this is cool. I mess with it, but it's that's the familiarity that I'm getting.
Yeah,
maybe it's the last chocolate I had, maybe, but I'm definitely getting like a dark chocolate kind of taste of it.
I love when we're doing the show and we talk about the notes that we're picking up, and like someone has a note that I didn't pick up, and I go back and taste it, and I pick up the note. I'm like, oh, that was awesome.
That's what I did with the tobacco, because I'm like, I can taste the tobacco kind of note in there. For sure.
Yep. All right. Well, you know, we want to honor Kimmy's time. Kimmy, what are some ways that we can support you in what you guys are doing, in what you're doing? Plug yourself.
Oh, oh, that's something I'm sorry. I have a hard time doing, but Dark Arts Whiskey House. If you guys are ever in the Lexington, Kentucky area, swing by and check out the crew there. 1170 Manchester Street, Suite 190 in Lexington, Kentucky, 40508. And also, the socials are always popping. My personal social is at Kimmy Douglas, just like how you see it, KYMIDOUGLAS. And that's probably the only place I'm really active. Yeah, I told you I'm kind of shy, but I'm getting better at it. So, but anybody has typically can hit me up, ask me any questions. I'm always good to get back with you. And yeah, upcoming things we have going on. We're doing some sponsored events with the Kentucky Derby. So we'll be at Bourbonville this year. We're also a contributing sponsor to Kentucky Derby this year. So you'll see our name on some of the promotions. So we'll be at Bourbonville. We've got some other things coming. We'll be at Bar Convent in Brooklyn this year in June. Me and Macaulay will be out there.
Nice.
And we're doing some things sponsoring Bourbon Women this year because women are always killing it in the game and whiskey. Yeah. So there you go.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that. And what I want to say to encourage you is you came off super natural and super easy to connect with. So you killed it. It was a blast having you. I posted your Instagram in the chat. You got my homegirl right here. She said it. Great chat with Kimmy. Kimmy killed it. So
one of the best interviews.
Thank you so much, Kimmy. Nice meeting you. Great meeting you.
Interviews we had for sure.
And you had the boldness to come representing your team, no matter how bad they are right now. That's killer. I love it.
Hey, I told you I got
with guns loaded. With guns loaded too. With guns loaded.
For real, guns loaded. For real. Well, I will be coming through this summer to come see you guys out there. So shout out to you. Shout out to the whole team. Macaulay. Shout out to my girl Sarah. She straight kills it no matter what she does on the content game. So shout out to her. And we will look to having you again next season. Maybe when your team's a little bit better and we have a little more to talk about after we win the chip this year. And then we can tell you, look, we have a championship and you don't. It'll be fun. Because we're going to watch that little guy, Jalen Brunson, bring a chip to New York. All right. And yes, that's right. As a New Yorker, I am talking big and bold, just like
Bookmark
you said.
I'll remember that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kimmy. You have a great night. Kimmy. Enjoy your travels.
See ya.
All right, boys. All right, everybody. Please support. Yeah, that was great.
These were fantastic. I need both of these bottles.
Support everything that they are doing at Dark Arts. But let's jump right back into that Knicks content. Shout out to my girl Ebony. She was like, yo, y'all are talking about my 3 favorite things: whiskey, tea, and basketball. And I'm like, come on up, hang out. So Ebony, if you're still in the chat, just come on up. I'm posting the link for anyone that wants to join. We got about 30 minutes left before Apollo calls it a night. And I'm probably going to call it a night too, because my family comes back tomorrow and I'm excited to pick them up and be with them. So I want to make sure that I'm rested and have the house clean before they get here. So let's talk about the next game after the last one we talked about. So we talked about, what do we end off on? On Denver?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Oh, no, we did Lakers.
No, Lakers.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we did do Lakers. We were going to the Clippers.
We gotta go Clippers now, yeah.
Clippers. Let's talk Clipper game. What are you guys' thoughts when you saw that game? Paulo, go.
Man, we couldn't hit a shot. That was one thing. Was that the second leg of a back-to-back?
Yes, it was.
Yes. Yep. Okay, so that was another one of those games where just legs were just bad. Darius Garland, I couldn't, from the Cleveland days, I couldn't stand him. So I still can't stand him. He started to light up. He gave them the spark that they needed when we started to come back. Man, what a game. That was very. I mean, the highlight we got Amo Diarra poster. That I
Mhm.
like that. That was
nice.
something to remember good from that game.
Yep.
But yeah, man, just as otherwise, other than that, Cat had a pretty good game from what I remember. I think he had
Yep.
in
Yeah.
the 30s. I think it was his
Yep. He had
season
35. Yeah.
season high. Yeah,
35.
season high. Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know, man. I wish we could have finished off that game a little bit better. But they got a better start than us, and then they finished better than we did. We just didn't. I felt like we didn't really want it as much as they did. It was kind of weird, like towards a certain part of the game. It was kind of like, well, like why are these guys out there? Like it was kind of like they just didn't want it as much as we did. But I mean, as much as they did, we didn't want it as much as they did. But like you said, I mean, like I said, other than that, it was one of those games I try to throw away and forget. But they did turn it. They couldn't make a shot. That was one of the other things. They couldn't make a shot when it counted. But the defense was there somewhat. That's one thing that has still been showing up, even though these guys haven't been knocking down shots recently. The defense has been at least keeping teams at lower marks than before. But it's just another frustrating loss.
Yeah. What about you, Al?
This was a back-to-back and also third game in 4 nights. So fully expected the guys to struggle this game, and you saw it with all the missed shots. This was another high turnover game, which is worrisome. I think 19 turnovers in this game, not good. The positive from this game and from all these games, from the entire the entire West Coast trip, is Cat has been amazing. Cat has been really freaking good. Like he's playing his best ball under Mike Brown this year, right now. Like, and that's good to see because, man, I was worried about him. Right, I didn't know if he was going to turn that corner, and the timing of it all is great, right? Because we need him to be good for us to win it. Like, there's no way if he was playing the way he was playing at the beginning of the year, there's just no way we're going to win the chip. It's impossible. He has to be playing like that 1A, 1B type of guy. And he's been doing that, and he's been efficient. And in this game, and then the other thing is he's been a rebounding machine. But in this game, he also has 7 dimes, which was kind of crazy.
Right, yeah.
So that's what I took out from this game. The other thing that I touched on earlier is that during these stretch of games, Jose Alvarado has really been like a zero or negative coming off the bench. I see him gambling a lot, trying to get steals, and then it ends up putting us in rotations and bad positions. His three-pointer is off. I don't remember the last time he hit a 3. His jumper's off. So he's got some work to do, and I wonder if how much Clarkson's going to start eating into some of his minutes.
Yeah. So I'm going to share this clip because I saw this, and this is what I felt like we allowed Kawhi Leonard to do.
Oh, he cooked us.
All night.
He was cooking OG.
He was cooking OG.
Yo, he was doing OG dirty. Oh my God. What the
That was
heck
Kawhi Leonard all night to the New York Knicks.
With a pizza dough?
All night, bro.
He was
dude
doing them dirty.
He looked like the Claw of 6 years ago. Like he looked
like All-Star Game Claw.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
did you see him last night? He cooked Minnesota last night too, the same way, even worse. He did Minnesota worse than us. He's on a tear right now.
He's killing it. And we couldn't control him. But my most frustrating part about the game against the Clippers is, once again, like you said, this should have been a Cat-focused fourth quarter at the end of the day. Like, we should have been doing everything as Cat as the number one option. He went 13 for 17 on the night, 35 points, 3 for 4 from 3, and he was shooting confidently. And in the fourth quarter, like, I felt like more of those like focus should have been on him. Yes, he had 4 of 6, but Brunson was missing. Brunson went 1 for 4 in that quarter. And that's one of those things where I'm just like, okay, if it looks like Cat is the for sure thing, I don't care if you're Captain Clutch. Let's get the win. Like this is where you have to surrender your cape at times. Just like I said in the other game where Cat and Clarkson were like nonstop hitting shots in that fourth quarter, yet Brunson continued to, shoot. That's the same thing I saw here. Brunson went 1 for 4 when he had both Cat and OG shooting 4 for 6. And he had Hart on the floor with him shooting 2 for 3. So pretty much 3 of the 4 people that were on the court with Jalen Brunson in that fourth quarter were shooting better than him. Those should have been the guys that we continued to feed, especially Cat. Like when you have that kind of guy finally getting into his element as an offensive player, you milk that all that you can. And so that was a little frustrating for me to watch. And like you said, 19 turnovers to 8 turnovers. Like you can't win a game having 11 more turnovers than the other team. Like that just doesn't make sense. And once again, Brunson had 3 of those, So for me, that was the biggest thing was I feel like that game should have been ours. Like the score makes it look worse than it really was. Because I feel like it wasn't until the last few minutes that we really just let it fall apart. That's what I want to see move forward is the fact that Jalen Brunson can let go of the reins at certain times. There's a time to be Captain Clutch, and there's a time to look and say, I don't have it. And in this last 7 games, he has not really had it offensively, except for last night. He had not had it. And not even last night. I can only say second half of the game.
I was going to say, yeah.
So
he wasn't doing that good in the beginning.
Yeah. Exactly. And so that's the biggest thing for me is you got to feed the hot hand. Landry Shamet was abysmal that game. 3 for 12. 3 for 12. The last 3 games, he's been really hard to watch, unfortunately. But once again, the biggest thing for me, take away again, Mikal Bridges. Like, what is Mikal Bridges there for? Like, why? Yeah. Why? And I said this on the KOT, and I'm going to continue to say it. Give Jordan Clarkson Mikal's minutes until Mikal shows that he deserves them. Like, something has to happen where Mike Brown says, hey, you're not showing that you deserve these minutes. So
didn't he sit him in the fourth of that game?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And that was the sign that Mike Brown is starting to understand that you have to punish Mikal Bridges. Like, you have to. Like, he's not doing the work. He does not deserve to be on the court. So I was thankful for that for Mike Brown. So let's go into this last game because I think that this one is super, super important. So us versus Utah. I understand they're young and hungry, but there is no freaking reason why we should have only beat the Utah Jazz in the fourth quarter. Like, up until the third quarter, like, it was neck and neck. Like, I don't understand it. Like, Lauri Markkanen, injured. Kessler, injured. Jackson Jr., injured. I do not know why we were allowing them to be so close into this game. But before we go into it, I'm going to bring up the moderator of all moderators, Mr. NBA Economy himself is chilling in the back, came out of nowhere. Mr. Fritz is going to join us.
I seen him in the chat. Yeah.
It always makes me happy to see that guy smile. So we're going to bring our guy up. What up, Fritz? What up? What up? What up?
Hey,
Fritz is good.
What's
good, my guy? Bro?
Doing all right. Just reviewing these games, man. I tried to forget that Clipper game.
Yeah.
I tried to forget.
That's just painful. But we're gonna talk about this game. So let's talk. I'll have you go first since you're here chilling and visiting. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on last night's game against the Jazz?
Wow, we were playing with our food. Like I was surprised how confident some of those young kids were. Like some of those kids had no fear. Like they went out and just went the ball. But we needed to be better than that. Like there's no way they should have been in that game.
Yeah, I agree. And shout out right there to this. It said they used to feed Ewing the ball. Sometimes Pat goes multiple possessions in a row without even touching the ball. I think that is one of the stupidest things that we can do. Like the way to make Jalen Brunson a small guard better is to show that we are willing to give our big guy who's worth $53 million the ball. Like if they think that Cat is an afterthought, they're going to continue to focus and lock down Jalen Brunson. If Cat is the central part of our offense, they're going to focus on him and they're going to double team him in the paint, opening up Jalen Brunson for three. I do not understand why we do not utilize Cat more in that way. And I think it's because Jalen looks to score first, then assist or find the next guy instead of how do I get the ball to somebody else to give me the best shot possible. And so what are your thoughts on that game, Mal?
So that game, I found out who Sensabaugh was. I didn't know that he was an NBA player. I never heard of him.
I bet you.
I never heard of him. Yeah, I never heard of him until yesterday. Yo, in the chat, let me know if y'all with me because I had no idea this dude was even in the NBA. That was my first time seeing his name. I'm like, this dude is cooking us. Like, who is this guy? So leading into the game, I've been one of these guys that have been complaining about the Knicks starting lineup. And that the Knicks starting lineup has had a negative net rating in this whole like stretch of games. Even like when we win, they still have a negative net rating. So when Josh Hart and I always reference the Josh Hart defense. So I personally would like to remove Josh Hart. I've been wanting to do this, and I wanted to plug in. I don't know. We can try Diawara, but Shamet seems like the perfect person. And so Shamet got his chance. And he just kind of messed up my whole theory because we still started off slow. And I'm just like, all right, I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with these guys and why they continue to start off slow. I used to blame Josh Hart. After yesterday, I don't know if I can still blame Josh Hart, man. So that kind of is what I was on yesterday. I knew they were going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Apollo, what are your thoughts?
So I knew who Bryce Sensabaugh was. It's like his third year in the NBA. I know about him because I play fantasy basketball, and I scour the free agent pool. Yeah. So a few times, like a couple years ago, I'm like, oh, hold on, this kid got 20 points. Hold on, let me. And this year, I'm like, nah, he's just on my team. Like I haven't released him yet. So I knew this game was coming, and I was like, I think I had a chance to start him over somebody else. And I'm like, I'm definitely starting him because he's playing the Knicks.
That's
and
crazy.
We typically don't defend the 3-point well, and he likes to take threes. And that was the first time I ever watched him. But I knew about him. I knew about who he was. But he, from jump ball, he just was like splashing threes in everybody's face. And it was kind of like, all right, well, what are you guys gonna do here? Because this dude doesn't look like he's scared. Like you gotta step up. And then he did the flagrant foul on Brunson. And I'm like, all right, these guys have a chip on their shoulder. Please wake up, because you guys do this all the time against teams that you don't know much about. It's kind of like when those main guys that are out, those are the games that I worry about the most, because if there's not much scouting report on these guys, they go out there and they just play them like they're like it's a pickup game. And it's like these guys are still in the NBA. They're coached by the same coach. They run the same system that these other guys would be running. So it was one of those games that like you said, I knew we were gonna win. Like, I wasn't really worried about that aspect of it. It was just frustrating to watch us go through the motions of allowing a team like that to feel confident versus us. And that's something that it's just annoying. Like another one of those games when Macau had 5 points. You know what I mean? And this is the Utah Jazz, bro. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? It's very frustrating sometimes to watch certain these guys have struggles with these guys, and it's like, this is not the team to struggle with. But it was good to see Jordan Clarkson have a great game against his former team. That was something that we needed, because if we didn't have, because the bench, I think without Jordan Clarkson wasn't really doing too well at one point. So yeah, it was really good for Jordan Clarkson to wake up and have one of those good games. Another good game by Cat, pretty decent game. Only had one foul.
Wow.
Gotta
That's
rejoice for
actually
that
crazy.
one. Yeah, gotta rejoice
Yeah.
for that one. So, it wasn't a low turnover game as well. 10 turnovers, which is
Good.
the trend was pretty bad prior to, but hopefully they can figure out and bottle some of those things up and carry that into playing our next matchup. It's especially because the last time we played the Pacers, they kind of like embarrassed us. So, yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. So for me, I agree with you, Al, that things need to change in the starting lineup. And I see, the real ham for free talking about Josh Hart. I understand the issues with Josh Hart. But in my honest opinion, I don't think Josh Hart is the issue in the starting lineup. Because one thing about Josh Hart is, no, he's not going to be this offensive guru. Like, he's just not. But he's always going to show effort. Like, his effort, whether he's having a good shooting night, a bad shooting night, a good defensive night, a bad shooting night, he's going to put everything out there. He's going to sacrifice his body. He's going to run the court. He's going to try, and you can't knock that. There's always somebody that you look and go, why is that person looking like they're falling asleep on the court? But Josh Hart is never that guy. Like, he's always going to put the energy out there. He's always going to try.
Yeah.
For me, the issue in the starting lineup is Mikal Bridges. Like, Mikal Bridges, more games than not this season, has been a negative plus minus at the end of the night. Like, a massive plus minus. Like, the fact that you played 27 minutes in the game and you got 5 points and a negative 13 is disgusting. Like,
against Utah.
Disgusting work against one of the worst teams.
Can't even cook Utah.
And only had 2 assists. It's not even like he was slinging a rock. Like, what are you doing?
He wasn't doing anything. And so if you look at this stat, all right? This is crazy. I saw this today.
Zoom in a little bit.
Hold up. There we go.
Oh,
all right. Last 3 games, Mikal Bridges has averaged 4 points, 6 rebounds, 21% from field goal, 17% from 3. So his points per game over the last 3 games are less than the amount of picks that we gave up for him. So if you take his points and his rebounds, you add them together and get the median, that's the amount of picks that we gave up for this freaking guy. All right. And this is someone who was pro Mikal Bridges, that was pushing, hey guys, no, Mikal's going to get it together. He's going to get it together. He's not getting it together. I don't know what the heck is going on. And so for me, I was going tick for tack on the KOT show the other night, and some people were indifferent on my take. Lee was in agreement with my take. There was one person, I'm not going to name any names, Jay Ellis. What? And,
wow.
and he did not agree that we should give Clarkson his minutes. And so I created this for anybody who had an issue with seeing what Jordan Clarkson could do. And this is the Jordan Clarkson apology form, because
I will be
Jordan
signing
Clarkson,
that.
Yep. Jordan Clarkson cooked. And this is the thing is Jordan Clarkson, what's he making this year? Anybody know off the top of your head?
Vet minimum.
Vet minimum. So you have a player on a vet minimum who comes in and plays 26 minutes and gets 27 points. That's more than a point a minute. And then you have a guy that you gave up 5 picks for that played 27 minutes and gave you 5 points. I don't care. That person that's bringing you 5 points needs to lose minutes for the guy that is trying with all of his heart. 2 of the last 3 games, he was a shining star for us to actually stay in or win the game. So without Jordan Clarkson, 2 of those wins aren't possible. So shout out to Jordan Clarkson putting in the work and coming in after being DNP for how many games? So you got to give him some credit for the fact that he's willing to put in that work. And also, he also got 5 rebounds and 3 assists. So
5 offensive rebounds. They were all
5
offensive
rebounds.
That was crazy.
Shout out to him. And what I will say is, even though Alvarado was looking rough, and people were like, "Hey, get rid of Alvarado, put him on the bench." Alvarado came through last night. All right. Alvarado came through with 2 for 3, but 7 assists. Like that was
2
clutch.
steals.
Yep, 2 steals.
Yeah.
So he put in that work last night. So for me, feed the people that are putting in the work. The ones that are putting us at a negative night in and night out, make them earn it back. Shout out to Mitch going 3 for 4 last night, putting up 6 points, 13 rebounds, 1 steal. Like Mitch is doing it all. So shout out to Mitch as well. And that's the things that I'm seeing. So I want to share this real quick as my now run that back real quick. Because Mitchy Mitch, like he always loves his social media. Like Mitch loves to go to social media to tell us exactly how he feels.
Always.
So I'm gonna share this real quick. Share screen. This is Mitch's recent post. All right. Let's run that back off. All right. This is a Mitch video. And he said, "The good old days when I used to get jumpers up."
Has he ever made a 3-pointer in his career?
No.
I don't think he's ever gotten permission to take a 3-pointer.
No.
I want him to make one so bad
in his career. And so he had to like put that out there.
Mitch is smart though.
He is.
He's smart, you know why? Because now he's actually starting to get the ball. So he's like, all right, guys, I'm letting you know I can shoot too.
Exactly.
I could do that too. Because now he's actually getting the ball. That's something that he hasn't gotten the past few years. And he's been leading with these tweets talking about, I'm out here for cardio and all of that. Now he's actually getting the ball. So now he's like, yo, guy, I can shoot too. So
this is the thing. There are some players that are passive aggressive. And then there's Mitch, who's aggressive.
Right.
Mitch puts everything out there to make sure that everyone knows exactly how he's feeling about his role, about the Knicks, about his teammates. So I thought that was a pretty funny little thing. So let's wrap up talking about this next game. All right, we got the Pacers. For some reason, the Pacers are always a freaking thorn in our side. And like you said, Al, it seems like might have been Apollo, that everybody rests their players right before they play the Knicks. And so Tommy Beer put out a tweet earlier today. It said the Pacers, who play the Knicks on Friday, have ruled out Pascal Siakam, Quentin Jackson, Aaron Naismith, Obi Toppin, and TJ McConnell for tonight's game versus the Suns. So none of them are playing tonight, which means all of them are playing tomorrow. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to see how much
we better not lose to that team again.
So they're gonna give us their best shot, and this is the last game on a long road trip for us. The last game of a road trip is always a very tough game. It usually ends up in a loss, guys, just to be real about it. So I'm fully expecting a long game and a frustrating game.
And it's going to be on the road in Indiana. We usually don't play well in Indiana.
Yeah, it's going to be another frustrating game. There's no way. If we go out there and beat them wire to wire, BTA, I will be so surprised. I will be so happy. But I don't think that's what's coming.
You have to put, hopefully, because for some reason it's almost like whether Halliburton's there or not, somehow this TJ McConnell guy finds a way to will that team.
And Siakam.
Siakam. No, but I mean it's TJ that gives all of these guys the energy. Like they all feed off of TJ. It's kind of weird how he like is the guy. So I kind of want us to start using Jose in that role. You know what I mean? Because he's not here to score. That's clearly not what he's here for, which is why I haven't been so disappointed. I did drop him for my fantasy team because he's not giving me but it's that
but he's here to be a pest.
He's here to be a pest, right? Exactly. He's here to be a pest. He's here to be the defensive guy. If I need some steals, I might go pick him back up. But I mean, it's at this point, that's what you kind of need. You need one of those guys who will just put me on the best player, and I'm just gonna make their night hell. You know what I mean? And I think you need one of those kind of games from Jose in this game, especially because it's like a rivalry game at this point. Like they hate us as much as we hate them somehow, and they've beaten us the last 2 times in the playoffs. So it's like, why you guys hate us? You know what I mean? But I think we have to come out there, like you said, it's the last game of a long road stretch. So hopefully we can have the energy that we're supposed to have. But that is a team we're not supposed to struggle with at the end of the day. It's just not a team we're supposed to struggle with right now. And we're struggling with them. And it's the Aaron Neesmiths, it's the Nemhards, who just shot over whoever he wanted. It just they make that team makes me realize how small we are every time we play them.
Yep.
So
especially Siakam.
He shoots over Josh every single time. Nemhard shoots over Brunson and Jose every time. Like it's so they got to go out there and actually play like they want it, you know. So that's the only way they're gonna win.
Yeah, they're better players. Like all played in the teens today. So like they didn't play hard. Any of the players that you usually worry about. The player that they played the most, Eaton Thomas, who I have no idea who was 38 minutes.
Wow.
Jalen Slauson, 32 minutes. All the players that you know are going to bring it, all played in the teams today.
Yeah,
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: is one player that did go off tonight and typically goes off against us as well is Nembhard. He only played 17 minutes and had 23 points.
Wow.
In the game against the Suns. And without any of those players playing, they still took it to the fourth quarter, you know, with the Suns. They lost 123-108. But Nembhard in 17 minutes was a beast. 23 points off of that. And then a bunch of no names in competition against the Suns. So they're all going to be there tomorrow. And this is my biggest thing that I have a hard time with is that this is one of those guys that Jalen Brunson gets very competitive with, which is TJ McConnell. He's a friend of his. They're both short guards. They both are physical guards. So Jalen Brunson loves to go tick for tack. You saw it last game.
Yeah, last game they had some of that.
Against against TJ McConnell killed us because TJ McConnell is not their best player. So him going tick for tack with TJ McConnell when you still have Pascal Siakam cooking us is an issue. Like, you need to make sure that Jalen Brunson does not try to go tick for tack against him tomorrow, or we will lose that game. And I do not want to lose to them. Like, I do not want to lose to the Pacers again. Like, that would be so freaking frustrating to have to, like, face the Pacers one more time this season without Tyrese Halliburton and say that we lost to the worst freaking team in the league. That's so disappointing, so frustrating. So I don't want to see that at all. One thing I want to end on is a positive note. All right. I saw a video today that said this is why the Knicks traded Julius Randle, and it showed Julius Randle.
He was horrible last night.
Terrible last night.
Absolutely abysmal.
Hey, so Dante was really bad last night too, though. I keep it a buck.
Yeah, probably. Really bad. But we're gonna watch this reel to kind of make us feel better about ourselves because Cat has been playing great, and it just solidifies that we won this trade. So shout out to Leon Rose for finally having the cojones to do what we all thought he needed to do already and trade Julius Randle. We're going to watch this little Randle reel. So here we go. Up, Randle. Not a single. All right. Up, great. Interception. Up. Here we go. Julius Randle. What was that?
Oh, my God.
All right. I just hear clown music. I wish I had some clown music to play in the
background. Nah, that pass was crazy.
He be tweaking, yo.
Yo, what was that?
Julius, he's
oh my God. You saw that defense? Wow.
It's bad, bro.
This one was funny as hell. Watch.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, that was Claw.
He waits for the double team. It's the same thing he did when he was here. He waits for the double team to get there, and then he makes a decision.
This one right here was bad. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's just bad, man. It's just real bad. So I'm thankful for that. Thankful that Leon Rose did what he had to do, got us out of that situation. Karl Anthony Towns, I know that we gave you some hard times, and some harsh criticism earlier, but you're doing what we asked you to do. Find a different way to contribute. And now you're contributing offensively and defensively. So it is the perfect time to see him rise. Shout out to everyone in the building. It says, Lito right here says, honestly, Jalen Brunson says, Halliburton, you're not my friend, is when we can beat them when it counts for something. It's true. It's weird. This whole NBA is kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. It's not what I grew up on, where it was like, we don't talk on the court. We don't talk off the court. But now everybody's buddy. Jason Tatum talked about how many players, have texted him about him coming back or, talked to him before the game about him coming back. So it's just a different NBA. Kind of got to get it, you just got to accept it. It is unfortunately what it is. It's more of a paycheck. It's like intramurals basketball as a teenager, but you're getting paycheck now. It's like everybody's buddies, everybody.
It's a fraternity. It's a fraternity. Yeah,
exactly. Everybody's buddies. Shout out to Xavier Marshall pulling up. Appreciate you, Lito. Guys, what do you think about the game? Do you think we get a W or an L? We'll just go round table and then we'll call it a night. Al, what do you think?
We're gonna get. I can't say we're gonna get a L. We're gonna get a W. We're gonna get a W. All right, will them the victory. Let's go.
Will them the victory. All right,
Chris, about you?
Big W. Big W.
Big W. Okay, that's 2 dubs. Okay.
Who's gonna say it? Because they loading up. They loading up the clip for this game. Like they're gonna have fresher legs than us. Like this is their Super Bowl. Like this is crazy right now.
I personally believe in Indiana we're getting L.
Ooh.
I think it's very
prove
possible.
Me wrong. Prove me wrong.
I think
want
it's very possible.
I want them to prove me wrong, man. I want them to prove me wrong.
I'm gonna say a W for the fact that I think that Mike Brown has gotten to a point where he's not catering to your position, how much money you're making, anything like that. Him sitting Mikal Bridges in the fourth 2 games ago, him giving Clarkson some of his minutes last night proves that Mike Brown does not care who you are. He cares about the W. So I love that. I love that he's stepping into a point where he's like, listen, I don't care if this pisses you off. All the other guys deserve a W. If you don't want it, that's fine. So I think we go off of that high that we saw from Jordan Clarkson. I think we see that high from Jose Alvarado. We did not have Jose Alvarado the last time we saw them. And so he is a pest.
No, we did. I think we did.
Oh,
yeah, because I remember Nembhard shooting over him a few times.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Even though the rest of the guys did not play, Nembhard did. Yeah. And Nembhard is the one that typically cooks us, like from 3 especially. So hopefully him being on a back-to-back makes him a little bit tired, makes them not fully rely on him, and they rely on TJ McConnell. But I also didn't have this cat when we played them last time. That's for sure. Cat was getting into foul trouble. Cat was a liability defensively and offensively. The last time we played Indiana.
Yeah, that's true.
This cat is now starting to shoot lights out again, which we didn't see early in the season. But he's also defensively a way better player. Even offensively, I don't know the last time I had to say, what the frick, put your elbow down when you try. We're not seeing that. This is huge growth. I honestly think the last 5 games show the most growth in Karl Anthony Towns in years.
His whole career.
He is now learning how to do things the right way. And I think that came because he was getting coached. He was actually getting coached. And
there was one play that I saw Mike Brown pull him to the side and was talking to him and actively coaching him. And I saw that and they had the cameras on him. I was like, I like that. I like that he's actually coaching him and not just talking about him in the media, but he's actually talking to him right in the middle of the game and telling him, yo, you're doing this wrong. And they were having a dialogue. Like, that's good. He's coaching. Like, that's what you're paid to do, Mike Brown.
And Jalen and Landry Shamet, I caught them both telling him a couple times, like, hey, get in that post. Like, go take advantage of that mismatch. You know what I mean? So that's what we need more of.
Yeah. And no shade to Tibbs. You know, he did what he did for us, but I rarely ever saw Tibbs coach during a game. Like, what he's seeing, stop what he's doing, stop being
he never did that.
Stop being frustrated, and tell the player what you're seeing so that they can do better for the rest of the game. That's one thing I like about Mike Brown is it's weird. He makes this weird face where he's like, looks like he's chewing invisible gum all game. Anytime someone, I'm like,
what are you doing? What are you chewing on?
What is your mouth doing? Like, there's no gum, but he's processing, and then the player comes off and he talks about what he saw. He talked to them about the play. He talks to them about why they got the foul call. Like, he's always in communication about the things he's seeing. That's what I want to see. And I think that's what we need. And I think Cat is developing at crazy speeds, because you look back 3 weeks ago of us talking about Cat, and we were all like, what the frick is this guy doing? Get him off my team.
It was crazy.
You know, this is a different player. So shout out to Mike Brown. Anyone who like had problems with Mike Brown, you got to eat your words. Like, straight up, he is killing it.
I want to bring up. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
He definitely coaches, but one thing I don't see him do is change the game plan. Like, we've seen Mikal struggle, and the solution is, I'll get somebody else in. The solution isn't, hey, we're going to change the whole offense to get Mikal open shots. It's not, we're not changing the game. We're changing you.
I noticed that against the Lakers. I was like, there's a couple of games where I'm like, what is our game plan? I don't get it. Because against the Lakers, I'm like, yo, we need to be targeting Luka. Like, we need to be hunting him, right? And I didn't see that. And I'm like, yo, what is our game plan then? Like, I didn't understand a couple of game plans from him. I agree.
The only thing I want to push back on with that, Fritz, is how do you change the plan to adhere to a kid who has no cojones? Like, straight up. Because if you look at Mikal and you look at Jordan Clarkson when it comes to offense, very, very similar in how they operate. Like, they can, you know, be aggressive, fade away, take that shot, pick and pop from three, like, very similar. The difference between Clarkson and Mikal Bridges is the willingness to get hurt and to put their body on the line to get a bucket. Like, you can't teach that. You can't coach that. Like, how do you really, like, change the offense to say, hey, we're going to find a way to cater to where this guy does not have to put himself in a position to be physical? Like, you really can't. Like, the teams that you're playing are physical. So you have to be physical. And so in order to change, you have to revolve the offense completely around no physicality. Okay. And in order to do that, the only times you've seen Mikal Bridges thrive is when there is no, like, physical offense, and it's all about nonstop moving and cutting. And what do you have to do in order to make that happen? You have to take Jalen Brunson off the floor. You look at all of Mikal's best minutes, and it's him cutting with Josh Hart looking for him, Jose Alvarado looking for him, Tyler Kolek looking for him. It's guards that are not going to score at all, and they're just going to bring the offense to them so they can dish you the ball. That doesn't work, which is why I have a problem with Mikal Bridges in the starting lineup, because you either have to cater to Jalen Brunson or Mikal, because their style of play is just so contrasting right now. And so that's why I say Mikal is the missing, like, piece that doesn't really fit in the offense, because he thrives off of having a guard that's going to play fully selfless and just bring defenses to him so that they can find you. That's why he thrives with the other guards and does not thrive with Jalen Brunson.
I was about to rebut you, because remember, Mikal was cooking at the beginning of the year. But in the beginning of the year, teams wasn't playing defense like this. Have you seen these guys holding, and like the physicality has increased in these last couple of games. Like we what you call it got fouled. Brunson's been getting, like, in the last plays of the game, like he's been getting held like before the ball gets inbounded. Like it's a clear foul, like, and they're not calling it. But that's so when you started saying that, it's like, yeah, that's why Mikal's not effective no more, because in the beginning of the season, nobody was playing that physical. And so he was getting his stuff off. And now the game has increased in physicality and he shies away. And it really is what it is. That's you nailed it, bro. You nailed it.
Thank you, bro. And it's frustrating because out of all the shooters on our team, I think he is the most accurate shooter that we have. But when you have an opportunity to go up for a dunk and you choose to do a fadeaway midi, like,
turn around fadeaway.
Come on, bro. Like, it's 1-on-1, and instead of going in and getting the foul, you're gonna try to stop the fast break to do a midi fadeaway. Like, it doesn't make any sense, like, it just doesn't. And so that's the frustrating part for me.
I wanted to bring up something that you didn't bring up yet before we close, and that's the remaining schedule. So the Knicks have a really light remaining schedule. We can actually make up a lot of ground in the standings, so everyone should be taking a look at the standings. Boston actually has one of the toughest schedules remaining, and I believe they're sitting most of their players tomorrow against OKC. So I hope they lose that game. And then also, we didn't talk about that, but this past week, Detroit finally hit a skid, and they've started to come back down to earth. They lost 4 games in a row. And nobody really talks about it like how they talk about when the Knicks lose 3 games in a row. You know what I mean? But those are all positive things that have happened around the Knicks as well. So I think the Knicks can make up some ground in the standings, and I wouldn't be surprised. First of all, we got to close off strong. We got to close out strong. I wouldn't be surprised if we could snatch that 2 seed. I'm really looking for that, and I want that.
So the only thing I'll say about Detroit versus Knicks is people don't necessarily talk about it because they can go on a losing streak and still be like 5 games ahead of the New York Knicks. There's such distance there. And so it's not like the Knicks are doing incredible while they do bad. That's the problem, is they go on a losing streak, they go 5 for 5, but the Knicks don't do anything to make ourselves get to that spot. We went 6 for 4. So it's not like we utilized
we
didn't.
But Detroit kind of reminds me of a Tom Thibodeau led team where they have been grinding the whole season, and their legs could be like going at this point in the season, and I wouldn't be surprised if they lose a couple of more games as we end off the season. I wouldn't be surprised.
It might happen, but I don't think so. I think that even great teams go through short stints, where that happens. And I think that's what that was for them. They went 5 for 5. We went 6 for 4. Yet they're still 7 games ahead of us. So there's that leeway there. I will say that with Boston, I think Tatum coming back, it is going to definitely make it a little bit harder for us to secure that 2nd seed. But we do have a lighter schedule coming up. We have in the next few games, we got Pacers, Warriors, Pacers, Nets, Wizards, Pelicans, Hornets. I think the Hornets is going to be a surprising game for us. I think that, like, the way that the Hornets playing, they're a completely different team than when we saw them last, which is crazy to say. But this team is energetic. They're young. They're
playing good. They're playing good ball.
Amazing basketball. So that could be a surprising L for us. Especially
they played us tough last year too.
Yeah. And then after that,
Con Knipple is glues in his mind right now.
Knipple's crazy. Like, he's crazy.
He's losing his mind.
My guy is the small forward. What's his name? The one they drafted
Brandon
last
Miller?
year.
Oh, Brandon Miller.
I
He's incredible.
I would do some strange things to get him on the Knicks.
Please don't do that.
I don't want to talk about it on this show.
Don't do it. Please. It's not worth it.
I know it's 10:15,
we go back to the
McCall
trade. The McCall trade. It's not worth it, man. Trust
it's
me.
not that kind of late night show.
I'll let it go.
You can do this on the Nick Life Crisis, bro, but this is PG, bro. All right. So after the Hornets, Thunder, we have the Thunder, then the Rockets. I think that could be a hard 3-game stretch for us. But then we have Grizzlies, Bulls, Hawks, Celtics, which depending on where the Celtics are at, like we'll see if they actually care to contend that game or not. Then Raptors and Hornets again. So I think after, looking at the whole schedule, we got 1, 2, 3, 4,
we got like
5
6 hard games.
5 games that are actual contenders. Moving forward. I think we could get to that second spot. It just depends how Boston's schedule looks for the rest of the season. I don't really know what they have.
I haven't looked at it, but I heard that they have like the 3rd or something or 7th toughest schedule remaining in the NBA, something like that.
So it's to their benefit that Jason Tatum's back then. Honestly, like my whole thing is let's at least make sure we're 3rd. Like, do not allow ourselves to slip to get to the point where Cleveland passes us. That's one thing I don't want to see. But either way, I think these next few games should really solidify what our lineup should look like moving into the playoffs. I think those 3 games are going to be the most telling. Like those 3 games in a row that are kind of hard. I think those are going to tell us which players should get the most minutes come playoff time. But we got a game tomorrow. I think we play the Pacers twice in the next.
We play them on Tuesday. I think. Tuesday. So is that St. Patty's Day? 17.
Yeah, we'll play them twice before the game, before we talk again. So, all right, guys, we're going to close up. Thank you to Dark Arts Whiskey. I just posted their website in the link right there, so you guys can click it, support them, pick up some bottles. They do have distribution, so make sure to pick those up. Tonight, we sampled this honey finish right here, and their blunt blend batch 2.
Amazing.
So both incredible pours. So as soon as you see those hit the internet, do not stall. They will be gone like that. When they put out, bottles like this, they're gone quick. So make sure to pick them up. Fritz, let everyone know where they can follow you, my guy.
Yeah, just check me out on the Nick of Time show, usually moderating in the chat. Also the NBA Economy show on YouTube.
Yeah, if you want to know if you can actually trade a player and if financially it works, don't talk to me. Talk to this guy. Like me, I'm letting Mikal Bridges go for, whoever could shoot threes and a signed Vanilla Ice CD. I don't really care. Fritz right here, he'll tell you what can and what can't happen. So, Apollo, let everyone know where they can support you, my guy.
At Guard Up Knicks everywhere, man. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Guard Up Knicks, wherever you may choose, man. I'm all over the place for you.
Well, it's good to have you back, bro. I missed you in a no P. Diddy kind of way. Just bro.
No baby oil, man. No baby oil.
No baby oil. No baby oil here, bro. All right. Al, let everyone know where they can find you, my guy.
Yo, definitely great to have you back, Apollo, to have that 3-man weave back. It's been awesome. Missed you, bro. Didn't even I honestly didn't realize like how much I missed you until today, because like it's just good having diversity of thought, you know what I mean? Like I like that a lot, you know what I mean? So having another extra person to give their own opinion is always great. Fritz, thank you for joining. If you want to follow me, I'm Semioto155 on Twitter, and I also have another show called Nick Life Crisis on YouTube. It's me and a buddy, 2 40-year-old guys, kind of been through the ups and downs with the Knicks and are now in their midlife crisis with the Knicks and with family. So we talk about family and the Knicks. If you could check us out, that'd be great. I think we're probably going to go live on Sunday pregame before the game on Sunday. So check us out then. Look for that.
Awesome. I love it. And Apollo, do not believe this guy. Okay. All right. Last week in the chat, he didn't know I was backstage, and I saw him cuddling with his phone, and it was your Twitter page. All right. He knew how much he missed you. Don't believe it. All right. He knew. All right.
See, I mean, he's got it, man. He's got you, man. At this point, you got to just give in. It's over, man.
I love it. All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you guys so much for rocking with us. Like always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Follow everybody on the KOT channel. Lee with his Substacks, B with her content on Twitter. All the team that's here, all of their post games every single night. As soon as the game is done, come right here. Lock in with Lee, lock in with B, Ebony, Ryan G, Lee, Jay Ellis, the man that created this whole thing, Fritz, the moderator of all moderators. Sometimes I bring my little Puerto Rican behind just to give a little bit of a different flair and have a little controversy with some of the crew, and it's a good time. So always lock in, and like always, if you drink responsibly. Do not get behind the wheel. Make sure that you are sober-minded and alert, and until next time, God bless and go Knicks. Hopefully, we will have 3 wins under our belt by the next time we talk to you guys. So, deuces. Catch you guys later.
Good night.